Hello, my name is Tara Barot, and I did for the first time a public speaking gig that was featuring the home design coach. The talk was at Asia World Expo in Hong Kong. I mean, this was home goods and fashion as well. Buyers would come from international places to come to Hong Kong to buy products to resell on to other places. And I had my first official speaking gig. I've done workshops where I've talked in groups before, and I've done emceeing for little events. I've done acting a little bit before as well, and theater, and doing improvisation as well. This was the first. 2 days before, I started feeling however you want to call it. I'm just going to describe the symptoms. I don't like to use the word stress because the physiological feelings of stress and excitement are the same. It's your perception of it that makes you one give it a negative connotation and the other one gives it a rather more positive connotation. I try to neither use one or the other. If I have to use one, I'd rather use excitement, obviously. Although when you're about to speak in public, saying that you're excited to speak in public doesn't feel just quite right. So how I'd rather describe it was, my mind was all over the place. The day before, really, I could feel it. My whole body was telling me mixed signals. I had my physical body telling me, like, just my heart was pumping and it was racing, and I could feel it throughout the whole day. And there was a moment during the day where I had other things happening, so it really felt like excitement because it was like, okay, this feels good. This was like, I've got other things going on during that day, and it really, really felt good. And then I had my mind. Your mind is very old as well. Your mind is built, like, has different layers, and the center layer of the mind is your reptilian brain. It just behaves, and it's when you're scared or whatever, it just reacts and you want to fly. You can train your mind to pay attention to the different things, but yeah, your mind just does what the mind does. And so my mind on the day before was telling me that things needed to be done. It wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. There was things missing. And that was my mind. And then my body was saying something else. But then deep within myself, and I don't know how you'd want to describe this, if it's intuition, there was this deep calm. And inside it was, I've got this. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I've been talking about the same thing for the last 8 months. And I know this. I'm comfortable with this. I know it works. I know people listen and react to it because I've done this in person. It was just that deep and steady, I've got this. There's nothing that's gonna stop me. Put all these together. Heart racing, your mind saying, no, you're not ready. And then deep inside you're going, chill, you've got this. It makes for a very interesting feeling throughout the whole day, to say the least. And then the day came for the talk. Surprisingly, I was expecting to sleep a little bit less good than I did. My sleep was good, because sometimes when you're overexcited, the sleep tends to, just get a little bit. But no, I slept really good. And then I woke up in the morning. I woke up early. I like to not be stressed when I have anything big going on. I'd rather wake up a little bit earlier, just take my time, have my coffee, have my breakfast. I did hesitate to have my coffee that day because I was like, I don't need anything to raise my heart rate up. I did have it, but no, it was all good. Yeah, I took my time. I had plenty of time to get to the expo. It's about an hour door to door to get there because it's a bit further out. And I had plenty of time. I arrived there. I did final tweaks on my presentation. I had everything that I needed just to pass it on. I mean, it's all online anyways, but I had a USB case. So all prepared. And it just felt good. It felt good. And then I got on stage. On stage, what happened was, well, the heart rate started picking up again. And my intro was not as strong as I would have liked it to be. In hindsight, I will prep a lot more in my intro and my closing as well. Just wrap up on these two parts, intro and closing, just practice. So I feel really confident. And then I got into my story part. My talk was consistent in a story and then a teaching point from the story. Story, teaching point, story, teaching point. And those, like, I had repeated these over and over again. And as soon as I got onto my story, I was in flow. It was like I forgot everything else. I didn't even learn it by heart. I did went to a event, actually, the week before, and one thing they said is you don't learn your talks by heart, because then you're just repeating it and it's hard to bring back the emotion of that because it's not as natural. I was very happy to hear that because I'm like, okay, I don't need to learn by heart. My intro and conclusions, we'll work on that, don't get me wrong. But just, yeah, the talking part just felt like fluid, because you have these moments where you're not sure whether you have an authority on talking on a topic, because you have this the world is made of, like, you need diplomas, and you know it needs to be written on your resume or your CV, whatever you call it, to show, like, you know, you're certified, you have a certification. But life experience is certification. You don't get a stamp for it, you don't get a degree for it, but you living through whatever you're living through is a certification. It gives you authority. You know what you're talking about because you've lived through it. That's where, when I just started talking on my points, I just knew it. It felt super fluid. Whole talk went too fast. I spoke too fast. So I need to practice that because the heart rate goes up. So the heart rate, I don't think, is ever going to change. I think public speaking is not... We don't speak in public every day as human beings. Like, you'll have one-on-one conversations, a small group conversation, which feels a little bit more normal. Speaking quite quick now. But the whole speaking in public is not a normal situation. Therefore, your body changing towards that is a natural reaction. Wanting to remove that reaction, personally for me, and I've heard a few other people talking about when they go on stage and who've done this a couple of times, actually more than a couple of times, and they say it never goes away. It's not something that I want to go away, but I want to be able to do this where I can speak from the heart, I can tell my message while I have my heart rate going up, while I have this situation coming up. It's not a matter of removing that symptom, because I think that's going to be the hardest, but it's just getting more comfortable to being in public with that symptom and just being okay with it and saying, okay, this is how I feel, this is what my body's doing, and that's okay. I'm not going to try to change that, and I'm just going to do it anyways. That's my take on that. So my overall talk, I'm very happy with it. I felt very good. Number one, speak slower. Practice speaking at a normal speed. Normal for everybody else, because I can speak very, very quickly. But practice speaking at a normal speed on presentations when my heart rate is racing. Number two, practice my intro, conclusion, and my bridges more thoroughly so that I am more at ease with them. And number three, spend more time on explaining what I do. I've mentioned very briefly the home design coach. That's what I was talking about. And the Home Design Coach is my new online service where I guide you to transform your living space into a home that reflects who you are. And this sounds very like, tell me more, because you're like, okay, but what exactly do you do? And that's kind of what I've been getting. And in this talk, I wanted to focus on giving the people who were listening more tips and tools that I can use and then forward. So I kind of skimmed over what I did because I didn't want to focus on it too much. And I realized that it was probably a mistake on my part, that I should have spent a little bit more time explaining what I do, just so that people can get a better idea and background, and just feel a little bit less lost of where I'm coming from and all that. That's something that I'm working on, and I'm refining it day to day. I just wanted to share about the speaking gig and how I felt, because I've had a couple of people ask me that they wanted a bit more feedback, and I've sent audio notes on message apps to talk about it, because I mean, writing's all good and all that, but like, I can speak a lot quicker than I can type. So I figured I'd do a video for you guys. You can see what it is to prep, well, go through a a speaking gig. This is one of the first that I am doing because I've always had an attraction to the stage. I know it changed your how your body feels and everything inside, but that has never really pushed me away from wanting to be on the stage. I'm more curious to learn how to be better in that situation. That's my personal feeling about that, and I completely understand that people are not interested whatsoever to do that, and that's completely fine. I want to share my message to the world. I want people to feel good at home. I want people to feel good within themselves. The way that I use the home is your environment that you have control on. Most of you have control on your living space. Even if you're renting, you have control on what you put inside your home. You choose what you put inside your home. And some things that you choose sometimes are chosen not particularly consciously. Without realizing, that affects who you are on your day-to-day basis. That affects your behavior, your mindset, your moods, and your actions. Your actions are affected on how your home is laid out. And I'm not even talking about design. I'm not even talking about the walls and the lighting and the doors and whatnot. I'm talking about what you put in your space affects who you are, how you behave, and how you feel. I want you to feel amazing at home. There's no reason why you shouldn't. And every time you go through that front door or you're going into your home, you should feel amazing. You should feel like you're being lifted up and like you can rule the world, or if you want to rest, you can do that in peace. And in the morning when you get out, you're like ready to go for the day and make whatever you need to make happen. That's how I want you to feel. That's what a home can do for you. And that's what I want to do for the world. I want to guide you to make sure that you feel amazing at home. And it all starts with you, because in order for you to feel amazing in your living space, you need to know what makes you feel good. And that goes from within. You need to figure out who you are, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. Most of you can tell me what you don't like, but don't really tell me what you like. It's different. It starts with you. Who you are, what you like to do, and then bring those out into your space surrounding you. And on top of that, I also share, things I learn, things I do, a little bit of inspiration, something that I've gone through the week, and a whole bunch of other goodies on the email list. Come and check it out. The link is below. Till next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to see some funny things going on, keep watching. Bloopers are coming up. I think I was okay. Your mind is your mind. Your mind is. Why did I go there? Physiological. I've no clue. I'm lost. I don't know why I started talking about this, so I'm gonna stop talking about it because I'm sure there's a point. Yeah, but I don't remember why I brought this story in. But that's about it.